Okay, welcome back to last but not least, question 3 in the Personal Statements 2026 updates on these videos. So, last question. This one reads, what else have you done to prepare outside of education and why are these experiences useful? Now, the first part of that question is usually the one the students I'm dealing with find the easiest. They're like, brilliant, I can talk about cycling proficiency, 50-meter swimming badge, D of E, wonderful, literally everything. I'm a waitress, or, I work in a pub, or whatever it might be, right? So I'd say hold your horses, eyes on the prize, think what we're trying to do here, okay? So again, you've seen this before in the previous 2 videos. What's the most important word in this question? Why are these experiences useful? Okay, not just list everything you've ever done. I kept a goldfish when I was 3, it didn't die. I've genuinely had one this week say, I can take both public and private buses. I mean, well done you, right? Not going to be useful to university, okay? So here's my do's and don'ts for question number 3. And they go like this. Do demonstrate the skills that your experience have taught you. And when I say demonstrate, you should know by now, if you've watched the previous 3 videos, I don't mean state, right? I have got confidence. Well done, right? Good. How have you demonstrated that? And how have your experiences taught you that? Okay. Don't list everything you've ever done. As I've said, it's not literally a list. They're not going to be impressed by stuff that isn't related in some way to the course. Think about what you're trying to do here. Okay. Do talk about experiences gained on work placements and what you did then. So for clinical candidates, for example, work experience, absolutely crucial, right? Really useful. Engineering firms as well. Engineering courses love this. Computer science will go, well, can you code? And what have you actually programmed? What have you actually written? Do talk about the experiences gained. But again, the work experience is only as good as what you took from it. So for example, if I've got a student saying, I spent 3 weeks in the Home Office shadowing the Home Secretary, right? Well, what good? What have you said about it? They go, oh yeah, the biscuits are quite nice, as I've said before. Well, that just says to me that mummy or daddy knows someone in the civil service, or mummy and daddy is an MP, right? It doesn't tell me anything about the student. It just says that they're connected, okay? And that's not the same thing. So don't just try and get the fanciest title of experience possible. Again, see my previous comments on writing. It's not about how fancy the work experience is. It's about, or wherever it might be, it's about what you took from it and how it links to you as a student for the course to which you're applying, okay? Do include the small stuff if it makes a good point, okay? Some of the best things, I found a girl who went off to do geography at Oxford a number of years ago. She started her personal statement talking about a book on clouds that she had. That was it. She had a book on clouds. And she managed to turn that into, well, from that, I went out trying to spot them all. I went out walking and looking up. Not an impressive experience, but for a prospective geography student, it demonstrated to the university, in this case Oxford, that she was really, really keen on this stuff. And that's the kind of student she was. And as such, she got her place. Okay? Don't undervalue personal life experiences. Okay? If something's made you stronger as a person or more resilient, or more empathetic, these transferable skills are always going to be useful. So it doesn't have to be a named work experience. It can be, I'm a young carer, right? And as such, I've had to care for this. I've had a job, or I have to look after my little sister, or I went through an illness. But again, see previous comments on personal stories. Keep it factual, right? And obviously link it to the skills that you've learned. Okay? So there's our do's and don'ts for these ones, right? Think about what you're trying to do, right? Think about the course you're applying for and what it is you're trying to achieve. So, top tips on question 3. Think about this. Who cares? Now, some universities care about very different and specific things. Oxford and Cambridge specifically tell me repeatedly, we don't care about your extracurriculars. Captain of the football team? No one cares. Football, football, not interested. Lead in the play? Don't care. Okay? But if you happen to be, as well as being really good at your studies, an elite athlete in some sport or another, Loughborough really care, right? We had a student here, who's an excellent student of biology and chemistry and PE, who also happened to be an Olympic level badminton player, right? Loughborough really cared about that because that's where all the Olympic teams train, okay? So think about who you're aiming at and think about who cares about these things. Clinical courses, as we said, really care about placements, okay? Because what they want to see is, do you really know what's involved in being a doctor, a vet, a dentist, right? Do you actually understand what it's like to be in that job, okay? Make strong links. So this is personal to you. This is going to be highly varied, right? It's going to be really weird and wonderful, eclectic range of things in this box. It's your job to make the clear links to the courses themselves, okay? Gap years, I think, are amazing. If I had my time again, I would take a gap year. Lots and lots of the best medical candidates we've sent off to med schools have taken gap years. But what did you do with it? Okay, lots of people would go, well, work and travel. Okay, great. How can you leverage that work and travel into being something relevant to your course? Okay, if you can't, and you just literally sat in your pants, on your parents' sofa for a year, well, maybe don't mention that and hope no one notices. Okay, and finally, Oxbridge. Okay, as I've said before, and I repeat this, they're simply not interested in extracurriculars. Pack this section with supercurriculars, even though it says supercurricular in box 1. For that level of application, this box should all be supercurricular as well. And if you can do all that, you've mastered box number 3. So we'll come back again for some FAQs, but that is the long and short of the new personal statements. Thank you very much.